So Crash Team Racing is now back. Well, sort of. There's a new game called the Karters 2 Turbocharged, and I've made a video about this game before, and trust me when I say that if you are a big fan of Crash Team Racing, this is the next best game for you to play, period. Now let me explain why. FYI, I am not sponsored in any way. The developers behind this game actually contacted me on social media to check the game out, and believe me when I say that I was blown away by this. First of all, the game is free to try out, so all Crash Team Racing lovers or kart racing fanatics are able to download the game right now and hop into it. This version of the game is called the Prologue and is sort of an early access build, but don't let them throw you off because it gives you a massive taste of the game and how it feels like compared to CTR. It consists of single races, time trials against other players and more, so there are quite a fair amount of content to do. The time trial reminds me of the good old Oxide times, Velo time, and developer time trials in CTR. You are able to race against the goals of other players by simply downloading them. This way, you are able to test your skill and compete against the leaderboard. The community is extremely stoked for this feature and I can see why, because it is pretty well made after testing it out myself. And speaking of testing, how does the gameplay feel like? Now again, this feels just exactly like Crash Team Racing with some minor tweaks of course. For example, Crash Team Racing has its iconic triple boost system. In this game, it is back again. Now aside from that, Crash Team Racing also has a built-in boost reserve mechanic, which indicates how long your boost will last before it runs out. Now that mechanic is actually hidden in Crash Team Racing. However, in the Karters 2, that mechanic is now improved upon. Instead of being hidden, you can now see the amount of boost reserve you have left. By boosting, I can increase the percentage indicating that I am now moving at a much faster speed. Now this increased boost will slowly die down over time, in which case I'll have to continue the momentum of boosting non-stop to keep the reserve up, just so I can keep moving faster and faster for a longer time. And if this doesn't remind you, this is exactly what we normally do in Crash Team Racing. Once the percentage goes back to 100% again, it simply means that your boost reserve has completely depleted and you are now stuck at a normal speed again. All in all, this is the exact same mechanic as CTR, but now it is available for yourself to actually see and indicate. I love this change because now I don't have to guess when my boost will actually end. Another thing is, if you jump off a really high ramp, this is called a trick jump. You will know that you are trick jumping when your character does an animation after a far jump. Doing a trick jump will give you much more speed and even bigger reserves than usual, so go ahead and search for them as they are scattered across each map. Now in terms of the maps and music, very impressed. I love how wacky and crazy the maps are, and you'll need to try it out to truly know the extent of it. And for you shortcut lovers, yes, there are plenty of shortcuts for you to take and discover in each maps, which brings us to the next point. There are no invisible walls in this game, which means that you are now able to cut through many different corners and find many more self-made shortcuts while you are in the air, as long as you have the speed for it. The powers in this game is also super fun to use as well, as you now have a health bar instead, meaning that you now will not get stunned and be stuck in the same spot because of endless amount of rockets, just like in CTR. Now you must be wondering, what will be available in the full game? Well, we can expect up to 13 game modes, 16 plus tracks, which based on some of these pictures, they look absolutely stunning, arena mode where you go face to face with other players in elimination, crossplay and ranked match, which Crash Team Racing doesn't have, and many other online modes. Plus the best part is, players are now able to customize and race on their own track. This has been a feature that Crash Team Racing players has been asking for a very long time. But due to its limitation on consoles only, it never really happened. And because of all of this game is now shaping up to be one of the best, or dare I say, a better version of Crash Team Racing. Again, the game is currently free, so go ahead and download it on Steam. Plus, you can check out the full version details and also wishlist the full version of the Karters 2 on Steam, because trust me, you will be impressed with what you're about to play. Now in terms of release date, the developers have stated that they are aiming sometime around 2023. There are only 4 months left from the making of the video till the end of the year, so I'm excited to see what they can do within that short amount of time. So let's see what the developer has in store for us.